body is going to win this Democratic Civil War by November, which means right about now, it's not about ending with it, but living with it. And how? Can Democrats all coexist in that big tent without anyone trying to walk out or tear it down? Without any fights that will leave the party badly bruised? Because we know that side-eye is real and the stakes are high, and talking about sky high. Democrats are heading into the midterms with a real opening. President Trump's approval numbers are dismal across the board. Only 33% approve of the job he's doing overall. On the economy, 29%. On the cost of living, 23%. On Iran, 27%. Even immigration, his best number among the issues that were polled, just 38%. So President Trump may be on the ropes. And now Democrats have 76 days to figure out how to beat Republicans in November without settling the argument over what direction their party should even take. Can they do that under that big tent that they keep talking about? Or are they going to need something bigger?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
For the Democratic Party right now, that is exactly what it feels like trying to manage their ever-growing big tent. You know, my first guest tonight, he knows that firsthand. It's got to be a nightmare of a task, so much so that the New Yorker just put in a new headline. And here's the question they asked. Is the DNC chair the worst job in Washington? Well, the man currently holding that job, DNC chair Ken Martin, joins me now. Chairman, good to see you. I mean, there's an ideological tug of war in your party. We've seen some mainstream incumbents strongly reject, that's their word, reject the DSA candidates and the platform. So how do you keep both wings in the same tent without tearing it apart?
Well, look, I will tell you right now, and first, thank you for having me on, Laura. Democrats are unified. We are united, and we're through most of these primaries now, so it's no longer Democrat on Democrat violence. Right now, everyone is focused on the November election. Do you think they're really united, though, Ken? I
don't want to cut you off, but the DSA, so you're saying that all the Democrats and the DSA candidates, they're all united?
Let me say, we are a big tent party. We always have been. As you've heard me say before, we have moderate Democrats, we have conservative Democrats, we have progressives, we have leftists. And the key is to make sure that despite all the labels that people throw around and the divisions within our party, there's more that unites us as Democrats than those small differences. Every Democrat I know believes that we should get money out of politics and we should put more money into people's pockets, that we should raise the minimum wage and we should work for universal health care. Every Democrat I know that's running for office wants us to get out of these endless wars that Trump has put us in. And every Democrat I know is focused on affordability and making sure that we can actually build stronger communities and improve people's lives. Those are the things that unite Democrats, whether you're on the far left or you're a conservative Democrat or anything in between. Our party is unified. And look, with 76 days left, I can tell you what, we are focused on one thing, and that is putting a check on Donald Trump's power and giving the American people a sense that they're better days are ahead with Democrats in control.
Let's talk about checks, fundraising, really what I mean, because retired Lieutenant Colonel Alex Vindman outspent his opponents. I'm talking about millions of dollars. And guess what? He still lost. So what does it tell you that all of that fundraising, it didn't matter in the end when you had grassroots campaigns and voters who saw it differently?
Well, one thing I would say is look at the results from the last year. Over the last 18 months, we have won over 90% of the elections on the ballot, special election after special election. We are winning as Democrats when we're taking on Republicans. And in many cases, we are outspent heavily. And the reality is the reason Democrats are winning is because people in this country are responding to our positive message, because we're focused on the issues that our Americans care deeply about. And I've always said, look, we don't need to outraise the Republicans. We just need to have enough money to be in the ring and compete and get our message out. And we're doing that. And we're doing that effectively, and we're winning elections as a result.
There's a whole heck of a lot of money that's going to be spent trying to use even what you just said about Democrats being united to paint everyone with the same brush, including some of the more controversial policies and stances of the DSA. How do you combat that? Are you hoping to be able to use some of what, the $7 million left from Vindman alone? How are you going to combat the enormous campaigns that are going to be spent to try to say Democrats are united as a monolith in everything?
Well, what I would say, Laura, is look, what Republicans have been doing this last year now, they tried to create a boogeyman. They tried to use fear as a tactic to say the Democratic Party are a bunch of socialists. You know what? It hasn't worked. Candidates have been winning up and down the ballot at a historic rate. We've been overperforming at around a 14% rate. With a historically unpopular president going into his midterm election, things don't look good for Republicans. And why are people responding to Democrats? Is because our candidates are running for something, not against something. They're very rarely talking about Donald Trump on the campaign trail. They're giving the American people a sense that they're going to focus on affordability and improving people's lives and strengthening communities, making sure we have access to health care in this country, and taking on this really corrupt system that is rigged for only those at the top at the expense of hardworking Americans. That's what Democrats have been focused on, and Americans are responding to that positive vision. If the Republicans want to focus on attacking Democrats, bring it on, because guess what? The reality is this fear tactic, the boogeyman, all the stuff that they've been trying over the last 18 months isn't working. And when they're doing that, what they're not doing is giving the American people any sense of how they're actually going to fix this mess that they got us into.
Well, that message is coming. We'll see how you deal with it. I mean, a Democrat also just flipped a state house seat in Pennsylvania by fewer than 100 votes. I mean, a district that President Trump won by only 20 points in 2024. He had the state rep-elect Brandon Booth telling my colleague Andrew Nett that this is what compelled his vote.
One thing that's important about this district is that the demographics have been changing for the last few years. They're becoming much more younger and more progressive, so that works out. I think the overall issue that drove people to the polls will change.
It's a big win. There's no doubt about it. Is there a concern that a race like this, that might look to some people as a local upset, would be mistaken for a national trend, or do you think this is the trajectory?
Well, Laura, if this was just a one-off, I would say people shouldn't read too much into it. But this is 31 legislative flips that have flipped from red to blue. You know how many Republican flips there have been over the last 18 months? 0. So again, if this was a one-off, I wouldn't read much into it. But we are winning in places we haven't. This is a seat the Republicans have held for 25 years. This is a district that Trump won by 18 percentage points in Butler County, which is a very red county in western Pennsylvania. So to suggest or to try to minimize it, and I'm not suggesting you are, but the reality is this: we have been winning across the board. Just last night down in Florida, right, which is not a blue state at all, as you know. In Florida last night, we flipped the Sarasota County School Board, right? We flipped an at-large seat in Jacksonville. We flipped the county chair's race down there in another very red county. The point being is that this is not happening in isolation. This has been happening around the country. Election after election after election, Democrats are winning. We are beating our Republicans. And that overperformance, as I mentioned, is a historic 14 percentage points. And we won 90% of the elections on the ballot. Now, look,
Before you get there, hold on, before you get there, because while certainly there's been flipping from red to blue, the DNC is still in the red. There's more debt than cash at the bank, while the RNC is sitting on $128 million with no debt. It's a big issue for your critics, which includes the former DNC Vice Chair David Hogg, who actually told me this last month. I want you to listen.
We need a DNC chair who can actually go out there and raise money. That person is not Ken Martin, and we don't need another 18 months to figure that out. That is a decision that can be made now by Ken by resigning himself, which he needs to do if you're watching this video.
All right, you've now watched it. I want to give you a chance to respond. What do you say?
well, I'm not going anywhere. And the facts speak something completely different. We've raised close to, actually over $270 million just by historical means. Tom Perez, who was chair in a similar environment, apples to apples. He was the last record holder for a DNC chair without the White House. He raised, at this point in the cycle, about $107 million. We have raised $100 million our side in 198-year history of the Democratic Party. But what we're doing is we're spending. Yes, we're raising more, we're investing more than ever before, but we need more. And that's because we have a guy in the White House who is auctioning off the federal government to the highest bidder. Of course their coffers are filled. Of course they have more money because they're selling the government to the highest bidder. And, look, I have said this very clearly. We need more to compete. But as I said earlier, we don't need to outraise the Republicans to win. In fact, we haven't been outraising the Republicans over the last 18 months, and we've been winning election after election after election. And last thing I'll say is this. I've been doing this work for a long time, and I don't mind the critics. But the reality is there are two measures by which you should actually measure a party chair at any level, whether it's a state party chair or a national party chair. Are they winning, and are they raising money? And on both of those metrics, this DNC is raising more money than ever before and winning more elections than ever before. Look, the proof will be in the pudding over these next 76 days. While I'm confident, I'm not complacent. There's going to be plenty of critics to go around. But anyone who knows me and has watched my record of success over these last many years now in politics, including in our great home state of Minnesota, I don't lose elections. I didn't come here to lose. I'm not going to lose over these next 76 days.
Well, answer this question in New York proposed whether being the DNC chair is the worst job in Washington. Is it?
Well, listen, it's not easy for sure, but it's not the worst job. I think about, my mom who was a home cleaner who's no longer with us. My brother was a carpenter who wakes up every morning at 5:30 in the morning and heads out to work, building things, building this country. There's a lot of people who have tough jobs, and I'm not one of them. I have a job that I love. Sure, there are tough days for sure. Is there a lot of anxiety out there in this country right now about this election? For sure. But what fuels me has always fueled me, which is a belief that you can remake the world for people, and that politics is a great catalyst for change and can help actually improve people's lives. So as tough as these jobs can be, I'm blessed to have it, and I'm lucky to be able to do this work.
I'm going to ask you again in November. Ken Martin, thank you so much. Up next, a data center is becoming politically